Once upon a time, in a remote village nestled between whispering willows and dancing poplars, where the sun dripped honey gold through the leaves and painted the cobblestone streets in warm hues of amber, there lived a mysterious young man named Alex. Unlike the villagers, Alex preferred the company of shadows. His pale skin, alabaster white, seemed to drink in the darkness like a sponge, and his eyes glistened with an otherworldly silver light. To the townsfolk, he was a recluse, a ghost haunting the fringes of their community. It wasn't that Alex was inherently a malevolent spirit, far from it. In fact, his heart ached with an emptiness that mirrored the cavernous void in the night sky devoid of stars. You see, Alex was different. He was what the villagers would have called a vampire, a creature of the night subsisting on the life essence of mortals. Yet, despite this chilling reality, Alex harbored a gentle soul. For centuries, he had resisted his primal urges, choosing instead to live a life of solitude rather than prey on the innocent. He roamed the twilight hours, reveling in the cool caress of the night breeze and the hushed whispers of the wind through the trees, finding solace in the moon's ethereal glow. The turning point came on a night as dark as pitch, when the wind howled like a banshee and rain lashed against the windows, mimicking tears of a sorrowful sky. That night, amidst the symphony of the storm, Alex saw her. Through the rain-streaked window he saw a girl standing beneath the gnarled branches of an ancient oak. Her name was Layla, and she was as lovely as the dawn, as radiant as the full moon, and as enchanting as the first star to grace the velvet night sky. He watched her as she danced in the tempest, her laughter echoing above the wind's mournful cry. And in that moment, the dormant chambers of his heart stirred. It was a sensation he had long forgotten, a melody he thought had been silenced for eternity. Love, or what echoed its essence, had returned to his life, stirring him from his self-imposed slumber. From that night on, Layla became a fixture in Alex's thoughts. He found himself drawn to the window whenever she was near, hoping to catch another glimpse of her enchanting presence. The mere sight of her brought a smile to his eternally somber lips, chasing away the shadows that had become his constant companions. His world, once shrouded in gray, now had a splash of color, a vibrant hue that mirrored the rosy glow on Layla's cheeks. As days turned into weeks, Layla, too, began to notice Alex's presence. Whenever she passed his house, she could feel his gaze upon her, a sensation that was more comforting than frightening. At first, she couldn't understand this feeling, this inexplicable pull towards the enigmatic young man who seemed to embody both darkness and an alluring light. It was as though her heart, much like Alex's, had sensed a kindred spirit across the abyss of their solitude. One day, emboldened by an unseen force, Layla decided to confront the enigma that had captured her attention. Walking up to Alex's house, she knocked on the door, each knock echoing her own apprehension. When the door opened and she saw Alex, she knew she had found the source of the feelings that had been stirring within her. His eyes, those pools of liquid silver, held a universe of emotions that resonated with the unspoken longings of her own soul. In that pivotal moment, Layla didn't recoil in fear, as the villagers likely would have done. Instead, she stepped forward, her gaze unwavering. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice echoing in the stillness of the house. Her question wasn't meant to be a challenge, but a bridge, a stepping stone to understanding the enigma that was Alex. Alex recoiled slightly, taken aback by Layla's audacity. He hadn't expected anyone to venture so close to his sanctuary, let alone to question his very being. His first instinct was to retreat into the shadows, to hide the truth that lurked beneath his skin. But something in Layla's eyes, perhaps the echoes of his own longing, held him in place. And so he spoke, his voice a low rumble that resonated with the unspoken secrets of the night. "I am what you would call a vampire," he began, each word carefully measured. "A creature of darkness, sustained by the life essence of others." As he uttered these words, he braced himself for the revulsion. the fear that usually accompanied such revelations. But Layla's reaction was far from what he had anticipated. Layla listened intently, her eyes wide with wonder rather than terror. When Alex finished, a thoughtful silence fell between them, broken only by the rustling of the wind outside. Finally, Layla broke the silence. "Is that why you keep yourself hidden?" she asked softly. Alex nodded, his gaze dropping to the ground. "It's safer that way," he murmured, "for me and for everyone around me." Layla stepped closer, her eyes searching Alex's face. "Do you not want to be found?" she whispered, her voice laced with empathy. Alex's eyes met hers, and in that silent exchange, a torrent of emotions flowed between them. The centuries of loneliness, the agony of his curse, the longing for connection, all found voice in his shimmering eyes. Layla saw not a monster, but a soul trapped in an eternal night, a heart beating beneath layers of shadows. And in that instant she reached out, her hand hovering over his chest. She could feel the warmth emanating from him, a stark contrast to the chill that should have emanated from a creature of the night. "You're not a monster," she whispered, her touch sending a jolt of electricity through his form. "You're just a heart looking for love." Her words were like a balm to his wounded soul, soothing the centuries-old ache that had become his constant companion. Tears, something he hadn't shed in what felt like eons, welled up in Alex's eyes. They were tears of gratitude, of relief, of love. He threw his arms around her, holding her as if she were the sun, enveloping him in the warmth of her embrace. The centuries seemed to fall away in that one moment, leaving only Alex and Layla bathed in the soft glow of understanding and nascent love. As they stood there embraced, the rain outside had stopped. A sliver of sunlight peeked through the parting clouds, illuminating the room in a soft, ethereal light. It was as if the heavens themselves were moved by the purity of their connection, moved by the triumph of love over fear, of understanding over prejudice. When they finally pulled away from each other, the bond between them was unbreakable. Layla looked at Alex, truly looked at him, and saw not a monster, but a man wrestling with his inner demons, a man who yearned for the warmth of the sun and the comfort of love. In that moment, she made a decision. She would help him, not out of pity, but out of love. She would be his guide, leading him out of the shadows and into the light. And so began their journey together. Layla introduced Alex to the joys of the world he had missed for so long. She took him to see the sunrise, the colors painting the sky in hues of rose and gold. They walked hand in hand through fields of wildflowers, their laughter echoing in the gentle breeze. Alex marveled at the feel of the sun on his skin, a sensation he had long forgotten, and reveled in the taste of fresh berries, sweet nectar bursting in his mouth. It wasn't always easy. There were moments when the pull of the night was too strong, when the hunger gnawed at Alex's insides, threatening to consume him. But Layla was there, her love and support anchoring him to the world of the living. She reminded him of the beauty that existed beyond the darkness, the warmth of love, the joy of friendship, the simple pleasure of a shared smile. As time went on, Alex grew stronger, his thirst for blood slowly being replaced by a thirst for life. He began to feel emotions he thought were long dead within him: hope, joy, love. And at the center of it all was Layla, the girl who had dared to look beyond his curse and see the man beneath. Their love story became a beacon of hope, proving that even in the darkest of nights, love could find a way to shine through. And as the years turned into decades, their love only grew stronger, a testament to the enduring power of love and the transformative power of acceptance.